Office, Josh gets his notebook and checks some notes he took about a safe. After stopping at a store to study that safe model, he goes looking for Enrique, Charlie, and Fitzhugh to have a special meeting. At Josh's place, he tells his friends that Arthur bought a safe for his apartment a few years ago. He then remodeled the apartment and took down every wall except one, so the safe must be behind it, and that's why the FBI didn't find it. Josh thinks the missing 20 million is in that safe and wants to steal it, but he needs their help. Enrique and Fitzhugh agree, but Charlie is hesitant and points out that they don't know anything about stealing. Josh replies that he has a solution. Moments later in prison, Slide is surprised to learn someone paid his bail. When he comes out, he finds Josh waiting for him. Josh gives him a ride and tries some small talk, so an annoyed Slide steps on the gas and asks him why he helped him after ignoring him for so long. Josh has to drive around other vehicles and avoid red lights until he finally manages to stop the car. Then he reveals that he and Slide used to go to the same daycare as kids. It takes Slide some minutes to remember, and when he does, he mocks Josh for his seizures. Their argument doesn't stop until Josh tells him about his plan. At the mall, they meet with Josh's friends, but Slide isn't impressed, saying these three random dudes will be useless during a heist. Josh tries to defend them, so Slide asks them to prove themselves by giving them 15 minutes to steal something. Each of them goes to a different store and pretends they want to buy something, keeping the employees distracted until they can hide a product in their clothes. They bring all the things to Slide, who is actually impressed and agrees to work with them. He also reveals he's emptied their wallets. Sometime later, the group meets on top of a building. It's snowing, yet Slide doesn't let the others wear jackets. He explains that during a robbery things can change quickly, so they have to be ready to adapt. He gives them bobby pins and asks them to practice lockpicking on the door. Next, Josh tells his friends that they'll need to find a way to avoid the security cameras, the doorman, the guards, and the other employees. The group goes to a restaurant near the tower to study the movements of the guards and the police in the area. Fitzhugh is worried that they can't afford lunch, but Slide has brought a roach in a bag to get the meal for free. Now that they have more information, Josh puts together the plan and explains it with a Lego model. Slide will hide the money for a week to avoid suspicion since he's the only one not connected to the tower, but Enrique thinks Slide isn't trustworthy. Slide gets angry and points a gun at him, so Josh has to calm him down and reminds him that the heist has a no-guns rule. At that moment, Claire and two cops come to see Joshua. The others panic and hide while Josh goes to the door. Claire informs him that the judge is going to dismiss the case next week at the hearing and that Arthur wants to press charges against Josh for the Ferrari. However, Arthur will drop the whole thing if Josh apologizes. Minutes later, Josh is apologizing to Arthur at the penthouse. Arthur accepts the apology and smugly talks about chess moves, implying he's won. Afterward, Claire gives Josh a ride and surprises him with the footage of him destroying the car, which she illegally stole to help him. Josh asks her out on Saturday and Claire accepts. When Josh enters his home, the others scold him for dating an FBI agent when they're about to commit a crime. Slide also informs him that he doesn't know how to crack Arthur's modern safe, so they'll need an expert. Josh calls Odessa, a maid who works at the tower. Her father was a locksmith, so she knows some tricks. They show her the safe and she confirms she can open it, but it'll take her 15 minutes. Slide is intrigued, so Odessa teaches him how to do it. The next day, Josh and Fitzhugh watch the tower a little longer and see Charlie going inside. Josh waits until he comes out to confront him, and Charlie reveals that Simon offered him the building manager job. He won't help his friends anymore and tells Josh not to do the heist because he'll call the police. Meanwhile, Claire is called to the penthouse and learns that the court date has been moved to Thanksgiving. Arthur has also decided to press charges against Josh after the hearing. On her way out, Claire calls Josh and tells him that he'll be arrested by the weekend. Josh is actually happy because this was his plan all along. On the big day, the streets are closed for the parade and Lester is working again. Claire and the agents take Arthur out to go to his hearing, and Odessa lets Josh know the minute they're gone. Meanwhile, Enrique finds Charlie's wife in the subway and steals her phone from her purse, which he brings to Josh. The group is worried because Slide hasn't shown up, but at that moment Josh sees him wearing his suit and going to the tower. He realizes Slide asked Odessa to teach him how to crack the safe so he can steal the money for himself. However, he wants to continue with the plan. With his sister's phone, Josh sends Charlie a message telling him that the baby is on the way, so Charlie leaves the tower. The security guards find a Playboy magazine that has pictures of one of their tenants, so they're distracted looking at them. Odessa pretends it's a coworker's birthday and brings a cake to the lobby, so everyone starts singing happy birthday. When the rest of the staff comes out to watch the balloons, Josh, Enrique, and Fitzhugh easily sneak inside. In the meantime, Slide pretends to be a bank employee and asks Simon to let him into Fitzhugh's old apartment. Josh's team tries to reach the elevator while Odessa keeps everyone distracted, but Simon and Slide get in first. Now the trio has to take the stairs. In Fitzhugh's apartment, Slide asks for a tour, and when Simon walks into the closet, Slide locks him up. He also turns on the radio so nobody will hear Simon asking for help. While Slide takes the elevator, Odessa puts a sedative on a slice of cake and goes to the penthouse. She offers the cake to the FBI guard, who turns it down because he's allergic to chocolate. Odessa improves by hitting the guy with her maid cart to knock him out. Eventually, the trio reaches the machine room and turns the elevator off. Slide escapes by climbing through the hatch on the ceiling and starts climbing up the shaft. Josh's team takes the stairs to the penthouse and grabs the necessary items from Odessa's cart.